Video number 2 for the day. Doing a whole filming day, but it's like almost 5 because I've barely done anything today, but we're trying to be productive. Anyway, here we go. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're doing a YouTube related Q&A because I thought it might be interesting to do kind of like an Ask a YouTuber video because I'm sure a lot of people have different questions about what it's like being a YouTuber, how you be a YouTuber, stuff like that. So I wanted to answer those questions. That's what we're gonna do today. So I asked over on Patreon and Instagram for some questions. We're gonna start with Patreon because those ones obviously get priority. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's gonna be great. First question is, what video cameras do you use? So I use 2 different cameras depending on the type of video. So if I'm doing a sit down video like this, I use my Canon 80D, which is a camera that my friend very kindly sold to me, and it's been an absolute dream. I used to use a really old Nikon camera that didn't have an autofocus function, so that's one that I used for like all of my old videos. But this one does have an autofocus feature, so I'm able to like move around in the frame and it will track my face and everything. It's very fancy, so I'm very grateful. It also has a front-facing view, which my old camera didn't have, so it's been very nice. It's definitely a camera that I've really enjoyed and I'm very grateful to have. So that's what I use for sit-down videos. And then for vlogs, I use my phone, which isn't the best, but it's easier than trying to film on my really big DSLR. It's much more convenient to like bring it places. People don't really question it as much, right? If you have a big camera, people tend to be like a little bit more like, ooh, should you be filming in here? Whereas when it's your phone, people don't really care. So yeah, my phone, I do need to replace it because the front camera is smashed on it. So I can't do any vlogs right now, but yeah, that's what I use for like vlogging at conventions and photo shoots and stuff. What's the process of planning a video or a filming day? That's a really good question. So typically a few days before I actually film, I'll come up with the idea for the video. And for that, I have a whole, this is called a journal. That's what it's called. I have this whole video planning journal that I pull ideas from. So I'll just kind of come up with an idea, pull it from the journal, and then let it marinate for a few days before I actually sit down to film. I always film on my days off. So I basically come up with the idea a few days before my day off, let it marinate, and then actually sit down and do it on my days off. And that's kind of the process for like planning the video. If it's a lost media video, which I haven't done a lot of those unfortunately, but I do plan on doing more, it takes like months of like writing the script and researching and compiling clips and stuff like that. So it's a much more intense process. Like I have this Pokemon lost media video that I've been working on for like 2 years, and it's just been so long that I've been like planning it and working on it, and I still haven't posted it. But anyway, yeah, it really depends on the video, but for the most part, most of my videos, since they're very simple, they aren't like super heavy research videos. I'll just kind of come up with the idea, let it marinate, film it, and then we're good. How do you keep yourself motivated to post regularly? That's a really good question. I just really enjoy the video making process. Like, I mean, I don't like filming, like I don't love the lead up to filming, right? I don't like the whole having to like get my makeup on, set up the lights, set up the camera and all of that. But once I actually am sitting down in front of the camera and I'm filming, and then once I start editing, like I love editing. So I just really love the process of like creating things, and that's what keeps me motivated, is just getting to create something new every week. That's what I like the most, and that's what keeps me motivated. It's been harder nowadays because I don't really like have very many ideas, and the ideas that I really want to run with are going to take more time to make. Like I really want to make, whoop, that's my journal, there it goes. I really want to make more like cosplay walkthrough videos and more lost media videos, but those take a lot of time. Those aren't ones that I can just like pull out my ass, right? Like those are ones that I have to actually put like a lot of time and effort into putting together. Those take like weeks or even months to make, so I can't just like make them happen. But yeah, I'm trying to stay motivated. It's just very hard because I'm really low on ideas right now. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Do you follow any other YouTubers or cosplayers for inspiration and new ideas? I follow Lovely Lore, who is like my main inspiration. I love her videos, and I think she's great, and I love her like style of videos. I love her style of editing. So she's kind of like the only active YouTuber that I follow for new ideas. All of the other YouTubers that I really looked up to and really took inspiration from are no longer YouTubers. They're no longer like on the platform, which sucks. So I just like have to watch their old videos to get inspiration. If you have any cosplay YouTubers or like YouTubers. Oh, Rachel Maxey is another one actually. I do really like watching Rachel Maxey. She is a huge inspiration for like my cosplay walkthroughs. Hers are a lot more aesthetic than mine are because I don't have the patience to like set things up aesthetically, but she's really great. So I definitely take inspiration from her as well. But yeah, if you guys have any inspirational YouTubers that you can recommend to me, please by all means, I would love to hear your suggestions. I feel like there aren't as many cosplay YouTubers as there used to be. Like I used to watch Mango Cyrene a lot and she's no longer on the platform. I used to watch Cartoon a lot and she's no longer on the platform. So I feel like my main kind of cosplay YouTubers that I used to follow are they're all just gone. So kind of sad, but anyway, there it is. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to start vlogging at cons? Yeah, so vlogging at cons takes a lot of practice and it can be very hard because you're trying to enjoy the convention and you're also trying to document it, and you want to make sure that your footage doesn't skip around a lot. So basically I suggest using your phone because your phone is the most easily accessible camera and it's the most easily transportable and like usable camera when you're at conventions. It's not too intrusive, it's not too like cumbersome, and I just recommend using that and just try to film as much as possible and focus on trying to tell a story. That is the biggest thing for vlogs. You want to try and tell a story. So you want to make sure that you have a beginning, middle, and an end. So if you're vlogging and you don't have like a beginning and an end, you're gonna have to scrap that because that's not enough to tell like a full story, right? And there have been many vlogs where I've started out trying to vlog it, so I have a beginning and then I don't get a middle, and so I just give up on that vlog because I wasn't able to actually vlog the event. So every event you go to, you won't be able to vlog probably, like things come up and sometimes you're just not able to make enough footage for there to be an interesting story, and that's totally okay. I've had many events like that, but just focus on basically trying to vlog as much as you can, and always focus on vlogging too much rather than too little. It's much better to have to cut things than to try to string together a vlog when there's not enough footage. I hope that helps. Now we're moving on to Instagram questions. So I've seen YouTubers that write scripts and some that don't. Which way is better? So that depends on the person in question. It depends on the type of video. So if you're doing something like a commentary video or a gameplay video or a storytime video or stuff like that, I find that it's easier to not have a script, but you can still kind of have a loose script of like bullet points that you want to cover. If you're not able to like kind of plan things out mentally, it's good to like write down all the points that you for sure want to hit and then kind of use that as like a loose guide for your video. If you're doing something like lost media or a review or a video essay, then you would want to have a script to follow. I personally don't use scripts unless I'm doing lost media. I just suck at remembering scripts. This is why I'm a voice actor and not a regular actor. That's not the main reason, but it is a reason. So yeah, so it really depends on the situation. I recommend just trying both and see what works for you. So just take a dry run and try making a video without a script. And if that doesn't work, then try writing yourself a script. It really just depends on if you're good at following scripts and what kind of video you're making. So just try everything, do a few test runs and see what works for you, and then go from there. Title and thumbnail first or video idea first? Absolutely video idea first. I do the title and thumbnail absolutely last. Yeah, I always come up with the video idea first, make the video, then make the thumbnail and the title. I mean, I'll have like an idea of what I want for the thumbnail and title when I plan the video. Like I'll usually my first idea of like what I want the thumbnail and title to be at the very beginning will usually be what it is at the end, but I always make that at the very end. So that's the last thing that I do. How do you handle / process hate comments and rude people? Not very well. I'm very sensitive. I like to think that I'm better than I used to be. Typically, I just like rant about it with my roommates and my friends and just kind of get over it that way. Sometimes I'll leave like a sassy reply if I'm really feeling it. If people are being rude, I like to call them out or ignore them depending on like the nature of the hate comment. But I try to turn it into like a funny story that I can share with people. And then like that kind of helps me get over it and it kind of trivializes it more. It just makes it feel less personal. So that's kind of how I do that. And which video editing software do you use? I use iMovie and Photoshop because I'm too poor for anything else. Seems like it's very basic, but it served me very well over the last 5 years. So I definitely I'm happy with what I've accomplished with it. It just takes a lot of patience using iMovie and Photoshop because you can't do things kind of more streamlined because it's a very limited program. So you have to just have a lot of patience to like basically take the long way around when it comes to doing edits. How did you get comfortable in front of the camera? I don't remember. How did I get comfortable in front of the camera? The biggest thing that made me anxious about being in front of the camera and putting myself out there was my identity and my privacy. So what I did, if you guys have been here for a long time, is I used to wear wigs in my videos to try and change my appearance as much as possible so that I would feel more comfortable putting myself out there, and if I got hate comments, it would feel less personal because it was kind of like a persona I was putting on rather than just me. The hate comments still hurt, but I guess it wasn't as bad as if I like put myself out there, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I handled that. So I felt very comfortable in front of the camera. Like, I mean, the first video I ever did was like a review video of a dress that I got, and I was very like stiff and uncomfortable. But when I went to film my first ever like actual video that I posted, which was the how not to take a photo with a cosplayer video, I was very outgoing and I just kind of amped myself up. Like I just tried to be as like overly energetic as I possibly could be and just kind of threw myself into it, and also had a wig on. So that's what I did. Hopefully that makes sense and was a helpful answer. How do you come up with your YouTube name? So I've gone by AnyaPanda ever since I made my first DeviantArt account back in, I think it was 2010. And that's just the username that I've gone with ever since. So that really predates my YouTube channel, and I went with it because previous to that, I really went by names that were like fandom related. And so these were names that I could phase out of, and I quickly learned that I needed a name that would be able to grow with me and one that wasn't like related to a fandom so that I could like have that longevity with it. So I figured out that like my name and my favorite animal have kind of a cool rhyme scheme. If you pronounce my name correctly, if you pronounce it Anya instead of Anya, then obviously there's no rhyme scheme there, which is incorrect. But if you do pronounce my name correctly, AnyaPanda, it kind of has like a little bit of a rhyme scheme there. And I thought that was really cute, and it was something that I wouldn't grow out of because it's my favorite animal, it's my name, so like it works. And I have had that longevity out of it because I've had that username for like 12 years at this point. So it's definitely served me well. And yeah, that's how I came up with my YouTube channel name. Do you have any tips for someone who would like to start a cosplay channel? Yes, I did a video a long time ago on how I make my YouTube videos, and I think I really addressed that in that video, but I'll say it again. My biggest tip is to just do it. Don't worry about having the right equipment. Don't worry about whether you'll be good enough or not. Like, yeah, my first video that I posted was not very good. Like the background music was way too loud. The editing wasn't as good. Like, it's not as good as my current stuff, but that's all part of the journey. And the sooner you start your journey, the sooner you'll improve. So don't wait around for it to like be the right time. Just throw yourself into it. And yeah, you're gonna make mistakes, and yeah, you're gonna make stuff that you're not proud of necessarily. Like looking back at it, you're gonna be like, ooh, that video was not very good, but that's all part of the process, and you just need to trust the process. As every creative says, you just trust the process. So that's my biggest tip. Who is your biggest inspiration when filming videos? This is a really great question. My biggest inspiration, she's no longer a YouTuber, but she was by far, like, if I had to choose a favorite YouTuber, it would be her. I just loved her content so much and found her very inspirational and found her just really delightful. And that is Connie Glynn, previously known as Noodlerella. Yeah, I loved her style of videos. I loved her vlogs. I found them incredibly comforting and inspiring. And she's kind of who I tried to take after when it came to making my own videos. And she was like, I started in 2017, and so I watched so much of her content back in 2017 to really get inspiration for my own channel. And she was, I think, really part of what pushed me to really start my YouTube channel, was watching her. So yeah, unfortunately, she's no longer a YouTuber. I mean, it's not unfortunate because it's not something that she really enjoyed, so she's stopped doing it. So like, good for her. I'm very happy that she's, you know, been able to move on and has built a career that she's really happy with in being an author. So that's awesome. And it seems like she's very happy with who she is now. So I'm very happy about that. But I definitely do miss her content, and I definitely miss her videos a lot. So yeah, my inspiration, she is no longer a YouTuber, but she still has had a huge impact on me. Final question, which is a big one. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? And if so, is it hard to manage both jobs? Yes. So YouTube is not my main job. I only get like a small amount of money from YouTube every month. It's really just kind of extra pocket money. It's not at all something that I can live off of. So I do have a full-time job in retail, and that's my main source of income. The YouTube and Patreon money is just stuff that I make on the side that I can then put back into making content and making cosplays and stuff like that. So it's really just like, it's really just a side hustle. Is it hard to manage both jobs? It can be, for sure, yeah. So my days off are usually dedicated to making content. So I'll film, I'll edit, I'll do all of that on my days off. I've gotten much better at like managing that and making sure that, like, because previously like the full day would be dedicated to making content and dedicated to like filming and everything. But I've gotten much better at like only making sure that the filming only takes like 2 hours of my time, and then I do a lot of the editing in my spare time after work. So when I get home at like 6, I'll have dinner, and then I'll do some editing in the evening so that it doesn't take up my actual days off. So I've gotten much better at like dedicating little pockets of time to making content rather than just full days. But it can be difficult, for sure. With enough time and practice, you can definitely make it work. And that is it for my YouTube Q&A. I hope you liked it. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted questions. I really appreciate it. I hope that this video helped you maybe understand YouTube a little bit better. If you're new here and you'd like to see more videos like this, I put out new videos every Sunday, and it'd be awesome to have you here. So feel free to subscribe to see more. Hit the bell notification. That would be helpful because YouTube is broken. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all next time. But until then, head faces, please be sure to take care. Bye.